Hey Tina, it's Allison. I just wanted to take a second to quickly walk you through some of the floor plan options that we've created for your first floor renovation. So I'm just going to dive into a couple of different options and walk through them. And I'll also swing by and drop off a printout of this at your house this week, just so you guys can start discussing that and start moving forward. So basically here is our first option. This is the new door that you had put in off of the back of the house with your existing mudroom. So not a lot of changes here. The one change that I'm suggesting, and this is the same between both plans, would be to just be extending this wall a bit. Right now this opening is something like 3'10". So if we can extend this by 10 inches or so, that gives us enough room here to put, a small, not necessarily a bench, but maybe some sort of shelves with hooks above where we can incorporate some storage or drawers or something here to make a little bit more usable space rather than just having a couple inches there and a large open doorway. So that still leaves you with, a 3-foot opening into your kitchen. So walking along this wall, the back wall of your house, window stays in the same spot, sink stays in the same spot, relocating the dishwasher directly next to your sink, and then also showing the fridge located down here. So right now you have a wall here and a wall here. Those would go away. This post is showing where Pete told us that would have to stay, so that's remaining existing in the same spot. And then this is also your air conditioning unit here, so basically creating a big length of cabinetry. Your fridge would be here, basically stopping at the point where your existing wall is right now. And then on the other side of this, I'm just suggesting doing like a little desk kind of built-in cabinetry area, where the upper cabinets would conceal your wall air conditioner unit, and we could just do some fretwork panel on the front of that so that there would be, room for airflow. Swinging back around down here, so to the left of this opening to the mudroom would be where your range is, so we'd have to add some venting for a range hood there, either through the floor or through the ceiling to the exterior wall. And then an island here, so this is a pretty standard 4x6 island, so that will allow you to have basically 3 2-foot wide cabinets, 2-foot by 2-foot, and then on the seating side, a shallower version of 2-foot wide by 12-inch, 12-inch deep cabinets. And then this would be your overhang for island seating, which we could get, easily three stools at. These lines are basically just showing the path of travel between your 3 main appliances. So your sink being here, your fridge here, and then your range over here. As far as it affecting the layout for other seating, we've also removed these walls. So the walls where the built-ins currently are would go away. Basically, the only walls that are remaining are, these 2 posts and this like powder room bathroom wall. And then just showing relocating your dining table over to this area on center to this existing window, so relocating some lighting here, adding lighting here, and really just opening this space up, which allows us to kind of get a bigger, more usable rectangle, if you will, for your living area. The one thing with this plan, which I know you weren't super excited about, but maybe will be a nice compromise for Pete, is the TV. Just the way it kind of laid out, is there wasn't a great place to put it with your furniture kind of grouped like this in a conversation grouping, where it wouldn't be like a super far view to the TV. So right now I am showing it above your mantle, so maybe we can build in something there, kind of extend your fireplace up so that it's not completely in the middle of the space, but just something to think about. But I think this allows this space to function as a really big entertaining space. So you've got like an 80-inch sofa here, 2 club chairs, room for a small bench, you know, a 6-foot table with 6 chairs, 3 stools at the island. You know, pretty much from every part of your first floor, your TV is going to be, you know, visible. So if you're having a big party or big, you know, watching a game or a movie or something, you'll be able to have a lot of people view that from a lot of different seating areas. I am also suggesting removing that existing built-in that's on an angle in the corner here, just because I felt like with the cabinetry pushing down so far into the space, and then with the heater, it just felt like there was a lot going on this wall and felt really heavy. So I would suggest kind of getting rid of that and just using this as more open space. Maybe there's like a large plant here or something that's a little bit visually lighter. And then in this back space here, I'm just showing your existing green dresser here centered under the window, so a little bit of storage. And then, you know, maybe we can create another separate little seating area, like a little reading area, or excuse me, a play area for the kids over here with your sheepskin rug and a chair. And then this is the existing rug that you have, excuse me, the Persian rug. So it's a little bit square, I guess, for the space. So it will overlap the hearth of the fireplace. So that's something that we would have to discuss, either, you know, getting a rug that's a little bit more rectangular, maybe 2 rugs so that it's not quite overlapping your hearth so much. Let's just keep that in mind as a point for discussion. And then the only other thing that would change down here, so the footprint of your powder room really stays the same. There isn't a super great way to that I could come up with, and we can obviously brainstorm, you know, to incorporate this space while still leaving a path of travel to your basement. My suggestion would just be to relocate this door. So right now the door is over here and it's swinging into the bathroom, so hitting the toilet every time. So since this will be blocked off and will no longer be a path of travel, I would just suggest relocating this door so it's closer up against this wall, and then could even swing out and out against this new wall, so that basically this powder room becomes a little bit more functional space. The footprint stays the same, but the door swing isn't eating up so much of that. So that's mostly everything. I'll just quickly show you a little elevation that I drew just so you can get an idea. So this is looking at your sink wall. So basically your existing window where it is, dishwasher here, farmhouse style sink on center under the window, and then these would just be cabinetry with drawers or doors or whatever combination you think works best for you. A large refrigerator with cabinetry built around. And then over here would be the desk. So this is the built-in heater here. And then this would be just a small desk surface. You could do, you know, even like corkboard or dry erase, some sort of functional desk surface back here. So for tacking schedules or mail or what have you. And then just another piece of cabinetry around your existing air conditioner unit, which is outlined here with this dotted line. And then basically just suggesting that, you know, rather than having just a solid cabinet front in the inlay, we would have some sort of fretwork. So, you know, whether it's a wood pattern or, you know, like a metal like grid or something that would allow airflow. So you wouldn't necessarily have to completely open that up every time to get the air conditioner to work. And then my only other suggestion would be to obviously remove all the bulkheads that are existing, and then use a 3-foot upper cabinet and then a piece of trim to connect that right to the ceiling. So it makes the space feel a little bit grander, a little bit bigger, and looks like the cabinets are going all the way up to the ceiling. This elevation pretty much stays the same for this other plan. There's just one other option here that I wanted to show you. And this is basically, oh, one thing I forgot to mention, your microwave would be under the counter in the island, built into the middle of the island. So it wouldn't be right in sight from anywhere except for, you know, from the cooking surfaces. So the only other change here is basically down here, and adding a range to your island, which I know you're not super excited about having an appliance in the island, and also, that would require either, an island, like a hanging vent hood over the range, or a pop-up downdraft vent, and again would require venting to take that out to an exterior wall. And then basically, so this would just be a cooktop in the island, so storage underneath, and then over here you could either have double wall ovens or a wall oven with a microwave above, and then kind of full height pantry style storage here instead. And then pretty much everything else stays the same. So fridge along, where your existing wall currently is, having a small desk with built-in here, relocating your dining area over to the front of the house, removing these walls, extending this little portion of wall a bit to give us some usable storage and wall space in your new mudroom, and then switching this door swing to give you some more usable space. We did also play with the idea of even just like bumping this powder room wall out like this, and basically having a range in here in front of the island we could do, or having it in the cooktop. But ultimately, I think since this no longer is a path of travel into the house, it makes a lot of sense to be able to move that door a bit and just give you the space that you do have a little bit more functional without having to, the expense of relocating the plumbing and moving the walls and everything. And then I just wanted to show you one quick option, which I didn't detail out as much, but just wanted to get your idea or your feedback. So as I was playing around with it, I came up with this idea where basically this is showing your door existing where it is currently, or where it was currently last week, and then basically removing this entry into the powder room and bumping the powder room down to where that little nook and new mudroom is currently being proposed. So basically it would give you would walk in, you'd be able to have a bench with storage and, hooks along here, storage hooks along here, and then a path of travel right into a mudroom. So like your powder room isn't completely adjacent to your cooking area, and then into a powder room that's a little bit larger, and then would have a vanity and a toilet in it and a larger footprint. And then what that would also allow us to do is fill in this opening and give you a lot more of that standard continuous run of cabinets and L-shaped kitchen. So basically this part would stay the same as far as the way the furniture lays out, relocating your dining area here. But what you get different here is this large expanse of an L kitchen, and then your island would be orientated the other way. So basically you'd have a fridge here at the end with like an end panel, so your sight line is in from the front door is just straight to the back wall and the backsplash. A range here, sink existing location where it was, dishwasher to the left of that, and then again just some cabinetry, and then the same idea with that built-in kind of full wall unit at the end, kind of ending the kitchen. So this would be full height and this would be full height, kind of containing the kitchen here. I just wanted to show you this idea. I know you're probably way beyond this, but just you don't end up with as much of a chunk of dead space of this hallway. This hallway still becomes, your main path of travel into the space, and then all of this space becomes functional space. And I feel like the adjacencies of it works really well. You come in powder room storage straight into powder room. You don't have to go from the back of the house all the way around through the kitchen to the powder room. So just something to consider. I just wanted to show you the idea because I had drawn it up. But I think right now, like these two ideas are